Hi everyone. So today we are going to finish our last part of the last part of this project. We are going to redraw our sketch, add or change whatever you want to add onto our final piece of paper. And then after we finish drawing, we're going to trace with Sharpie, and then we are going to either apply one of the shading techniques, hatching, cross hatching, or stippling, to show a value scale on our drawing. You do not need a color pencil, but if you want to use color pencil instead of a pencil to show your value scale, you can do that as well. It'll just be creating a value scale by doing the same thing, just with a color pencil instead of a pencil. So I am going to be drawing my final draft with a marker, so I'm going to skip a step. But if you prefer to draw with a pencil first and then redraw or trace your pencil line with a Sharpie marker, you can do so as well. Before we get started, I do want to show you what we could have done if we were in school. We would use paint, and we would mix paint with black to show the dark side of the value scale. We would mix paint with gray to show the middle section of our value scale, and then we would mix paint with white to show the light part of the value scale. And when you have a value scale where you mix a color with black, this is called a shade. This section right here, when you have a section that is like a dull color, it is called a tone, because a tone is a color mixed with gray. And then when you have a light value of a color, this is called a tint. A tint is when a color mixes with white. So we would use paint, but we do not everybody has paint at home. If you want to try that after this project, if you have paint, you are welcome to do so. But I'm going to keep it to pencil and Sharpie, because I think a lot of people have pencil. So you will need a clean sheet of paper, a blank sheet of paper. This is going to be your final draft drawing, so that means that this drawing should be very neat, and I want you to do a large drawing, so fill up the empty space of this paper. And I have my sketch with me, and keep in mind you can change your sketch to the drawing that you want, to make it look the way you want. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the head first. I'm going to start with the contour line. Contour line is the outline of a subject matter. Alright, I imagine my robot can go pretty fast with this wheel. So I'm thinking that you are drawing along with me, and that you are drawing your own version of a robot. think back to the activity you've been doing on E-class. Think back to the design games that you've been doing. Think about the parts that you want to add to your robot. Think about the characteristic, the personality you want your robot to have. If it is a rescue robot, what would be the things that you want to add to help it rescue people? Think about that. Now, if you want to color this artwork, you can, but what I want to see from your work is how you show me whether you understand value scale or not. So you can still do color, but you need to show me that there is a change in value with your color. So if you're going to do red, then I need to be able to see a shade of red, a tone of red, a tint of red. So that means that your red there should be a dark, a medium, a light. So I guess pink, you can use pink as a light version, a tint of red. You can do that. So here my sketch has two eyes, but I'm just going to do one. He seems serious. Alright, so now at this point, if you've drawn in pencil, you would go back and use a Sharpie marker to redraw your pencil line, then get an eraser, erase the marks of the pencil that's left over, so that you will have a clean canvas for you to begin adding in your shading technique. So I am actually going to do the cross hatching technique. I like cross hatching. I like that I can make marks in both directions, so I'm going to do that instead. So I'm going to get a pencil. Here, that's my pencil, and I am going to pick a direction where the light would be coming from. So if the light is coming from this angle, then that means that anything from the left side would be light, and then it gets darker, and then it gets really dark onto the right side. And if the light is coming from this direction, then it will be light from here, and then it gets darker and darker, and it gets really dark on this side. So just keep that in mind. So since the light, I want the light to come from this direction, I am going to go ahead and start shading the opposite side, which is the right. So I will go ahead . I'm going to carefully start with the hatching first. Because everything on this side will be darker. So I'm going to start with my darkest part of the value scale. Same with this arm too. So this entire arm. And then right here. And then I'm gonna go in makes the cross marks. Alright, so I got my darkest part now. Now I'm going to move on and make lighter marks. This time I'm going to change to a lighter. So less pressure this time. I'm adding in. The reason why I pick a pencil also is because it's kind of a gray. The gray makes it look like it's a metal. It's metal. The robot is made of metal. So you can see it's getting a little lighter now. And I will go back also, make lighter mark, cross mark. Less pressure, much more gentle. And then again, much more gentle this time. So you can do this with another color and you can do the same thing, creating your value scale with another color. And then, last but not least, very, very light. I'm going to finish filling out the rest. Even on this side, you might not even have to fill much on this side because the lightest would be white. So it'll be empty. It'll be blank. Alright. So there you go. There you have it. This is a value scale robot. Alright.